Survivor 48, an emotional exchange reduces Jeff Probst to tears. Although dramatic backstories and personal problems are nothing new to Survivor's new age, our usually upbeat MC was unable to control his emotions for the first time in the show's history. The show on Wednesday had a particularly impactful moment. And no, I'm not referring about David gorging himself on the biggest glass of cow juice Fiji could afford. But really, what the hell? In order to ensure their survival in the game, the three tribes had to dash across a four-ball table labyrinth after yet another thrilling immunity challenge finale. Lagi and Siva were left on the battlefield after Vula won by a landslide. The final confrontation between Eva and Sai was set up by the rules, which required each tribe member to sink one ball. Eva, who had told her ex-tribe mate Joe about her difficulties with autism, started to cry and worry as time passed. She yelled to herself, "Why can't I do this?" The young lady was completely overstimulated and overwhelmed, and her island father figure Joe watched in agony, knowing that there was absolutely nothing he could do to help her. While everyone else looked on, he managed to get her to break her spell. There has never been a moment like this on Survivor, and it's unlikely that we will ever see one. It's you who is crying, not me. After gathering her courage, Eva told everyone her secret. Physicians informed her parents that she would never be able to live alone or work, and that she would only be fortunate to marry someone with autism. Jeff began to cry as he told her how telling her story might benefit young boys and girls who were similar to her. He fought back tears as he said, "Wow, this has never happened." To be honest, we were right there with Probst when he took a minute to gather himself. Took tremendous courage for her to take the stage and tell the world about her illness and tale, and it was a heartwarming, tearful television moment. Joe deserves a lot of praise. One would have assumed he was Eva's biological father based on the way he addressed her needs and emotions. But will their future games be impacted now that their intimate connection is public knowledge? Question is that. Jeff Probst breaks down the Survivor 48 scene that left him in tears. When things go really well and the environment and the situation line up, you can have these moments that do transcend the show, and they show us who we are and they remind us who we are. Host and executive producer Jeff Probst told Parade prior to the Survivor 48 premiere that there would be moments never seen before. And the most recent episode of the CBS reality series gave us a clear illustration of it. A machete might be used to break the tension during the immunity challenge in episode 5. There was a close race between two tribes. Eva Erickson was at one end of the table labyrinth, obviously having trouble with her turn. She was obviously becoming more and more agitated as time passed and the other tribe caught up, and the irritation and overpowering emotions were starting to take control. Joe Hunter was watching the next mat very carefully. That's because Eva told Joe she had been diagnosed with autism at a very early age a week earlier when they were on the island. Being the most overtly autistic character in the show's history, the PhD student is fully aware of the challenges that come with competing with that. One instance is what she called episodes, when she may get overwhelmed by the pressure of the competition and become distraught. That was the situation here. Eva managed to make it through the labyrinth despite her difficulties, sinking both her ball and the other tribe's attempt to escape. Her clan gave her a joyous embrace. But even long after the challenge was over, Eva kept crying, shouting, and taking deep breaths. Joe crouched forward, hands on his knees like a baseball player about to steal second, only a few feet away. Probst also given him the all-clear to go assist Eva after seeing his plans. Ordinarily, the rules stipulate that the tribes do not communicate with one another once the task is finished, as Probst would mention later in the show. When immunity idols and gifts are given away, they are supposed to remain in their individual groups until they are returned to their respective camps. According to his explanation on the official On Fire Survivor podcast, however, he believed that this particular incident went beyond the guidelines. She continues, "Everyone with autism should not be afraid to ask for help or receive it," amid the cheers and encouragement of her fellow actors. And then there was another surprise after Eva's admittance. Eva, playing Survivor requires a lot of bravery for anybody. However, it takes courage to come out here knowing that anything like this may occur and then tell your experience. There is a young girl or boy just like you watching right now going, "Hey mom, hey dad," he adds, his voice breaking as he cries. You got me now. As a mom myself, I do observe it. He pauses. Wow, this has never happened. Indeed, Jeff Probst broke down in tears during his own Survivor analysis. He ends by saying, "But I see it too, and that's why I love Survivor." Naturally, Probst was questioned about his feelings after seeing his very emotional reaction. It still gets me every time I watch this scene, and I have watched it a lot. That the challenges and the victories, whether they're big or small, they all matter, that you're navigating every day is noticed and respected. And I believe that a moment like this can truly transcend, he says. After everything was finished, I spoke with each and every one of the 125 crew members that day. Every individual was affected. For us, this was a huge occasion. When it was finished, we discussed it. The event was so wonderful that everyone was moved. And it conveys compassion and connection in such a profound way. Additionally, it serves as a reminder of what it means to really support one another. Probst spoke about how his attitude to what transpired between Eva and Joe was greatly influenced by his role as a father. However, it raises the issue of how Jeff's children might react to the incident. I rarely show a scene from Survivor to our kids, he says. They are doing their own thing, attending college, and they are elderly. However, I was in New York, where they both reside. And because I was so pleased with how our team handled the storyline, I showed him this scene as we were all gathered in the hotel and I was watching this edit. They were also observing it. For a second, I could see they were into it. Man, I thought, they might be proud of me right now. I'm involved in this. They burst out laughing when they saw me weep. Additionally, they began creating captions for the eventual meme. Sounds like I've been drinking constantly for a week or so, so I began laughing with them. The effect the moment had on the Survivor crew family and the families watching at home is not to be laughed at, even if Probst's family was excited to create memes after seeing him become the most emotional he has been in 25 years of working on the program.